Everybody get up, it's time to slam now.
Come on and slam, and welcome to the jam. Come on and slam, if you wanna jam.
I'm not arguing no more. I let my silence thump around your skull and steel toes you can't outrun. I pause, and your confidence collapses. You mistaken my calm for weakness. But my quiet is calculated, a loaded look, breath held with bad intent. I don't clap back. I black out in stages on stages, penning this rage. My silence ain't empty. It's overcrowded with conclusions. These unsent thoughts, a slap you can't dodge. Silence, second says, you don't deserve my lungs. You talk reckless, but I move wordless as a hitman hired by restraints. No witnesses, no trace of your spiraling thoughts begging for mercy. I don't bark because I'm nobody's bitch, but these chains in my stillness rattling reminds that I choose not to finish you with syllables. This ain't peace, it's pressure. Chest caving, sit with yourself and sweat type of pressure. The kind that makes your grown man's ego cry in lowercase. Mastering the art of not responding. Call it discipline, call it dominance. You can call it me letting your imagination do the dirty work so I stay clean. My silence got synonyms as ammunition. Void, vacuum, vanish. Even my verbs aimed at your relevance. Attention craved like oxygen. Closing the valve, suffocating the applause, leaving you choking on the fact that you never mattered enough to interrupt my peace. So don't speak, withhold. That's psychological warfare. Those unread messages, a mirror forcing you to face how small you should sound without me replying. You looking for a reaction? I give you nothing. And that nothing is eating your ass alive because indifference hits different than insults ever could. This silent treatment isn't passive, it's predatory. A patient predator watched you self destruct, trying to decode a message that didn't exist. Letting silence, I'm letting it breathe, letting it stretch until it snaps your nerve endings. No insults, no name calling, just absence with intent. A restraint that screams. See, I won without lifting my voice. This is a diss you feel in your gut, not your ears. But see, now it's a funeral where the loudest moment is me saying nothing at all. Listen, listen. Can you hear that? That's silence, not peace. That's power still standing while you broke your neck just to speak first. But see, that's the thirst of you wanting to be heard. My life ain't scripted. Ain't no laugh tracks. There's no commercial breaks to save me. See, I'm pretty polished and suffocating. Same mansion, different mental problems. But reality TV been stealing my traumas, produced it, then called it drama. The retakes of my triggers. Lights, camera, action. Now my triggers are triggered from the triggerings of being triggered. This fake ass smile, holding this fake ass crown, anything to keep the family proud. But I'm silently screaming out loud. Yet somehow I keep getting acquired. Then sign contracts and love ink depreciating my work. They wanted a wall, a womb, and a witness, and never asked once if I was still winning. Because became background noise in my own thoughts. Originally, I'm the originator, the creator of my own sitcom. But I've been polishing thrones while they check my tone. Been royalty way before a zip code, before a title, even when I learned to swallow myself politely. Suffering in silence. Adult kids grown, but growth don't mean healed. See, I've watched peer pressure pop bottles with peer-reviewed trauma. Drugs don't kick doors, they audition, then promise release. Then rewrite the ending in funerals and mugshots. Then seen addiction wear charisma while demons get dressed in confidence. My strength is just survival with style and jail. Because see, strong stands for they gonna keep taking from me. But I'm tired of being the spine with no support. The bridge that everybody crossed, then burnt it up. No, no, I'm saying it as a network cancellation. Like I didn't have to disappear. And all these yeses I gave away, and they were displayed, then played in my face, then slapped me with the reruns of my own regret. The emotional late fees and its spiritual debt. But see, life has edited me out after my body was used for props, froze my dreams, tried to create another version of me. But this passion in me never expired. It just waited a while so she could evolve. She's meaner and now speaking out loud. After I stepped back into myself, the floor's cracked. My past is protesting, and my spirit said, action. Remembering my hips hold history, built from bare minimum and broken promises, layered loud and loaded with lessons. Anger turned accuracy, cutting off cameras when I've had enough. Knowing my worth, gain life, giving less, interrupting the inheritance of hurt, refusing to raise replicas of my pain, learning luxury is peace, crushing old chains, releasing myself mentally from this mental contract, keeping my crown through the cancellations. This is my mission statement. See, I'm flipping tables, pulling curtains, talking in this camera like it owes me something. But see, I just need a supportive circle, not the ones to criticize or judge me. I need real ones who understand my struggle, that seen me loud and all cried out, seen me tired, seen me broken, but see me finally choosing myself from this day forward. Can I please have a moment of violence? Not that gun clapping, but the kind where silence becomes silence. Where the quiet in the hood gets so loud, it starts writing affidavits on every soul lost. Because silence ain't silent where I'm from. It's a heavy, breathing beast behind boarded up doors. The hoodie strapped tight as a tourniquet around a heartbeat that refuses to beep, 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 flatline. Walking blocks where silent means surviving in loud environments, no trust. Write that shit down. Tattoo it between the lines of your last will. But I'm not here to mourn, just here to warn. Because in my city, peace come in pieces. And some carry a piece just trying to keep the peace. But peace is just a war spelled wrong. On the blood-soaked form somebody else forged. To get them YNs too hyped up. Hype me up. Yeah, hype me up. But see, what they don't realize is I'm the motherfucking truth teller, ink dripping, fire spitting, booth killer. These verses be vigil, bars building barriers. My lines a lifeline for a hood that's drowning under the weight of its own obituary. I'm talking struggle strap, the gun in the waist and the burdens on the back, both heavy enough to make a grown man say. My metaphors move like contraband, concealed but catastrophic, as I am comparing a mother's tears to a hurricane's handwriting. Spitting acronyms as ammo, HUD, hope under pressure, game, grief, and neighborhood goons. R.I.P. Resurrecting in pain. I see your moment, but let me show you mine. That moment when the hood don't whisper elegies. It screams for destiny, then breaks the reaper sky just to survive. See, I'm that silent type. Silent as silenced pistols, violence before it's violent, that pause before them taglines. Putting your whole set 6 feet deep in metaphors. Bricks beat bleed blocks. Back alley baptisms. Bullet-born brothers becoming bag bodies. Say it. Say it. Say it until your throat knows what a funeral tastes like. Spitting sorrow sharp, slicing shadows from sunlight. Cutting silhouettes of the ones who we lost into the concrete. I speak for the cousins doing time, for the sisters in camo overseas, for the homies of mine who never made it past 16. And I spit for me, a product of a place where dreams and nightmares ain't opposite, they roommates. This ain't a moment of silence, it's a moment of silence, that moment where I body the bars you thought you built, then bury it in the same dirt you tried to bury me in. But when that day comes, I'm not whispering a prayer. I'm raging war against words. Because in this hood, poems are the only thing that don't need permission to survive. One.
My mother's spirit. I was inspired by my mother's courage, resilience, and sacrifice. Sometimes lost in the sweet wine of adversities, she, like Maya Angelou, like so many others, fell many times. Yet she rose undaunted, an immortal phoenix, soaring again to flames of light. So many candles of affliction came her way, yet I do not think she ever stopped loving. Even if at times I sense her silent cries, her tears soaring like a phoenix to the infinite. Yet she never once wanted to surrender to the bittersweet challenges which came her way. I saw her cute smile, the light of her heart, her invisible hands erect in prayer, knowing intuitively that she was held by love's grace, the very act of mercy that sustained the 7 wonderful children. She knew by faith, like the Apostle Paul, that soulful service was a benchmark for living, that she could not love a God she had not seen unless she served humanity whom she could see. For as much as you did it for one unto the least of all my children, you've done it for me, says the Lord. My mother served soulfully and diligently to the very end, pacing her way to the shrine of holiness to confer with the flowering white lotuses of love. It was the most beautiful summer's afternoon, and the pews were full. The Prime Minister and wife, plus a plethora of friends came, all holding cheerful handkerchiefs at my mother's graveside. The vicar gave a most stirring sermon, even as I sang an invocation to the Absolute Supreme, and the minstrels' trumpets blew 70 plus 7 times in paradise.
We bury the mermaid in sand and dirt, unfamiliar places clothing dead body. We sing in different languages to comfort others, elemental kidnapping, violent displacement. Cocoon so foreign, death is just the metaphysical world trying to translate the confusion. Ontological bewilderment, new shell to swim into, new medium, new slang. Linguists in outer space here on Earth attempting to give birth like mother does. Molecular disarray, atomic sea scattering, carbon death arrested in the ocean hydrogen cremation. Particles all disproportionate when position measured against a firm chaos and stasis. Melanin experienced in highest condition of chemical life. Solid rejection of decomposition. Chakras zooming wild through the universe while working remotely from center of cranium. Non-local bullshit. Look at my clothes. They are aluminum representations of nitrogen. Mineral collusion conspiracy, zigzagging from varicose valley to cerebral colloid. Every visual dot on my pixelated body, a violated hologram trying to return to form. Immaterial universe porn, revised by an unclothed eyeball that thinks like an anvil. Mandrill baboon whose anus is a trillion odd colors deep in infrared ultraviolet spectrum, flexing his rectum like a lighthouse radiator powered by orgone and hormone. Immediate dispelling of shadows shelled for Crayola pulchritude. Sulfur frills of crude oil, emulsifying vibrant, vivacious oleographs. Rainbows cast by toxic muck occidental, whose leprechaun coffer of coins at its end is petroleum and industry dollars, congealing black dead dinosaur paste built to increase speed. How to get from one fixed point in space and time to another point without intruding upon the Earth's excesses of natural beauty. Guess what? They flunked that. Far as the backwards traveling camel can take us, we will go into our own deaths if need be. How is it that dream has existed this long and still no known reason how it works? How is it the body grinds muscle and neuron and ghost inside knows not how machine works? The Bible, the Upanishads, the Quran, I Ching, Bhagavad Gita, Dead Sea Scrolls, and it's still a mystery how thought and body operate and why I sleep and dream. Somewhere out of reach of our deities are the answers that never will be exposed. Seal what saith the 7 thunders, commands the divine voice of the angel. Turn off the TV, says the raspy voice of reason. Ashes of banned books, stifled voices, hushed liturgies, malign libraries. The forest burns so that seeds can germinate and move worlds, bloom and blossom renewal. The self on auto-triangulate. Eons whisper across calendars, across reality texts. To life hack specialists, a bouquet of rabbit holes opens its buds to eager penis vagina. Let's break out the Havana cigars because humanity has already won. On which parallax of the pole do you find yourself? Do you need soup with that? If Heisenberg is uncertain, how can you be certain? Authorities exist to be demolished. Tomorrowland's language bathes in light of Numenon, because where else will one find zero?
Smile, girl. They say wear heels, but not the kind that make noise when you walk. They said wear makeup, but not too much, you'll look desperate. They said stay slim, but not too slim or they'll think you're anorexic. They say smile, girl. Smile through the cat calls. Smile when he interrupts you mid-sentence. Smile when he touches your back in the break room. Smile when you have more seniority but get paid less. They said be soft-spoken, be polite, be agreeable. Don't talk back. Don't speak too loud. Don't speak too often. Don't have an opinion. They said you're lucky to be pretty. They said beauty opens doors. They didn't mention the locks on the inside. They want us to perform femininity like a fucking Broadway show, yet I'm still paid less for the ticket. My eyeliner's flawless, but my opinions are too emotional. My laugh is gentle, but my no gets ignored. My nails are pretty and sharp, but so is my mind that no one notices. I walk through the parking garage afraid, with keys between my knuckles. I smile when I want to scream. I say thank you when I'm afraid. I've smiled through insults, laughed through fear, swallowed down rage, just to stay calm and safe. Well, not anymore. I carry decades of silence in my mouth. Now it spills out in screams. You wanted obedience, but I came for a riot. I won't be your mannequin, your other woman, your mood boost, your soft distraction. I'm not your angel, your arm candy, your therapy and heels. I'm not your calm down, your ego stroke, your good little girl. I was a good little girl for years, and I'm done with that. I'm not here to soothe you, not here to amuse you. I'm here to undo you. I will not smile for your comfort. I will not shrink for your to fit your frame. This body is mine. This voice is mine. And I'm not asking anymore.
I got that masking down pat, pressed down, sealed, airtight, better than retail. Got that wholesale Loctite distributor discount, 501c3 status, day or night, step above Scotch. Have the true you strategically suppressed. Socially sew yourself in so you can successfully be camouflaged amongst the rest, lest those undesirable traits leak out, seep out, make neurotypicals freak out. You're already labeled, so please don't do anything else to stand out. Welcome to the twisted dimension of reality that contains a hint of my oddities. And to think, this is just chapter 1, my origin story. So why would you try to be me when I could be a better version of you on your best but my worst day? You want to play? It's so nice to meet you. I'm EDJ.
A patient lives in my chest like a ticking clock, a heart that rushes God as he leads to his own promise. It shows up when waiting feels like punishment, when silence sounds like rejection, when healing doesn't hurry and prayers feel unanswered. This is a hard issue where many disguises. It strains my relationship with you, God. I trust you, but I rush you. It frustrates my relationship with myself. When impatient is triggered, frustration rises first. Then fear. What if God forgets me? What if I'm falling behind? I withdraw or I push, either way to outrun the ache. Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. Fear not thyself because of him who protects, and wait because of the man who brings wicked devices to pass. Psalms 37:7. But they wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount upon with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. Isaiah 40:31. David knew his heart struggles, anointed king, but forced to wait, hiding in caves while promise felt delayed. Yet he learned that waiting wasn't wasted. It was forming trust deeper than the throne. Impatient, destroy my identity, made me believe I am behind, not becoming. I trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine understanding. Proverbs 3:5. It blurs my word, turning seasons into scorecards and growth into deadlines. The wolves connect to fear of abandonment, control, and rejection because waiting feel like being left out. So I lay my hurry, I surrender the stopwatch. I trust the God who works waiting because impatient may not, but I'm learning to answer with faith. And let us not be worried and well-being, for in due season we shall repeat if we faint not. Galatians 6:9.
It feels like it's time to get loud and mad and sue someone. Strong and ingrained in me to not seek conflict, wince from insults, agree with terminations of employment, accept, deflect. Weak trees die from ash-boring beetles, from their roots not whispering quickly enough to each other to defy a foreign invader, to prevent the white nose. Frogs die from fungus, bats die from fungus. There are none of either left where I live, and there used to be so many. I might have used to know how to fight back against my syndromes, but my lack of timing, fear of force, no one is afraid of me. If my hands were cut at wrist for pity, if I leapt over the gorge for a rock halo, braver girl knows how to hurt others. Better to sever the spine than the sitting so upright, forgetting of the whispering to the roots. Nearby gather round the ones who love me. I am sick. I whisper into their ears with mouse breath. Sisters lay down their swords. It will all end and be over. Decline, accept. I am so quiet in the riverside brush. I will go to ground so silent. I try so hard to make me happy, and then I like to make you watch me implode in slow motion. I want to mimic that horror, deranged, except it's all been turned inward, berating myself at 3 a.m. to 5 a.m., and all the estrogen and progesterone in the world can't hold me back from biting my attacker. Deflect. And the fear of being buried alive is so real. I have taken first steps and handed over the hammer and shovel. I will sue no one. It's not in my nature. To fight back clearly isn't either. And so to my despot, Elisabeth Horan, you fucking selfish, damaged cunt, I apologize as you watch me succumb.
Life struggles. Life colors my desires with unfulfilled expectations, resulting in struggle. Unaware that progress lies in the challenges I face, I die daily in an abyss of loneliness and fear. I'm drawn to sad songs, constantly making beds for my despair. Yet the same dance of light, concealed within the darkness of my Pandora's box, becomes the inner alchemist at the gates of my open sesame of treasures. She weaves thorns for my sorrows to salute my roses of joy, carries me in my shadows, these foggy aspects of the truth. She walks with me into the luster of moonlit rays. Sunset eventually fades, but doesn't Andromeda swallows the night with grandeur? My mind's red hot with worries, even as the glimmer of stars whispers a twinkle in the heart. I affect the universe by the energy I offer humanity. To the drunk, a man in trance appears intoxicated, yet to the saint, he's the soul burning in the alchemy of paradise. The mother in labor knows only pain until she holds in her arms the most beautiful miracle of creation, life. A thorn is the harbinger of wisdom, adversity a messenger of light. Twilight may welcome my loneliness, yet dawn heralds an awakening sunrise. We're all unique dreams of love growing through struggle. The child confronts strife in crawling and walking, burdened by wet nappies and hungering for its mother's milk. Yet she lives spontaneously, trusting the sacrament of the present moment. Without shadows, there is no perception of light. Without the hills, there will be no valleys. Pleasure is followed by pain, and I treasure happiness, only because I have experienced sorrows. I am an emperor, lost in a sea of illusions. Love, in its mercy, gives me choices, even while holding on to the cords of my limited freedom. I stray like lost sheep into the ways of ignorance until she reins me in so I can swim or bathe in the mansions of effulgent light. Still I rise, says the wise elder Maya Angelou. Never give up. We are neither bodies, shrouds, nor graves, and will awaken just as light emerges when the day dawns. Love streams of living water satiates the agony of longing, and we drink, for our spirit will never die. The fire of the heart cannot be quelled, and the intensity for inner fulfillment still burns brightly in the soul. Hope, the songbird of perennial freedom, ever whispers her supernal songs, heralding sweet visions of tomorrows, constantly and patiently pruning the weeds of my inner fuchsias and petunias so that they glimmer with glory. Life invariably brings challenges, yet the rain of mercy nurtures the soil so that I eventually get a bumper harvest. The dark night of the soul is only troubled by brittle chains, awaiting the messenger of delight to untie its fetters. So come, my friends, let us sing with the songbird of the eternal. Life's struggles are akin to snowflakes blowing in the wind. Flowers blossom in Jerusalem, even when the shadows are dense. Give me your hands, O bevy of phoenixes. Love is eagerly awaiting to welcome us home.
Jump into a turtle pool of latex mold molasses, wallowing in it, not fondling gimmicks. I stroke cute waitresses, supermodeling my lipstick, chomping on a giant oversized grasshopper leg, making music like Colorado, eating Lhasa Apso burgers, burners embryonic out the womb of Tupac Picasso. God is automatic. I brandish the semi-auto pretzel gun, shooting labyrinths. Rosetta Stone hidden in my cherry pie press manuscript, bewitching analysts. Masculine camel toe, apropos of nothing but my mouth full of naked atoms. Each molecule shined and designed like every Made 3 from Babyface Assassin. Space of a stasis fathom. Fatal attraction of infinity Mobius stripe. Zebras blending in a zoo of peckerwoods evoke lion attacks, each nucleus spiked. With the poison of enjoyment, I can't respect anything anymore by its own merits. Oil derrick, up and down, bobbing on dick, robbing fertile zones arid. When his clone perished, she sucked lifeblood out of Dracula, instantly replenished. Pale complexion with a tin of gold, Wendigos wobble beyond history's detectives. Existentially defective. Human anatomy factory package came out deformed. Children of the cornrows, porn scrolls reborn like Hollywood reboots, rebuked and scorned. Front the line like MGM, roaring like the 20s. Background obscuring the armadillo. Concupiscent nuns connect, amarettos glittering on finger of an unconscious Bilbo, conquered dildos and planted flag and seminal vesicle, lording astronaut prestige, one nation deceived under grooveless spell and catalog disease, analog besieged by spaceship booty-based mix, Uzi's makeshift manufactured on the fly. Before Gun Factory puts out a line, I shoot my shot to coerce pH balance below 7 diethylamide. Pyramids glide in the clouds. Alpenhorn signals Scud missiles. Before infanticide drops, old men become immortal, drunk off blood of thug minstrels. 65 upset her stomach, Pepto-Bismol jugs, belly whines like an out-of-tune flute. Boy bands stay in the food group. Ketchup bottles sing falsetto in spacesuit and moon boots. Claymation couscous, ages and eons flesh out audio in Bluetooth. Mirrorless cameras, deep fake courthouse reality, shitty suspect pants, drank the prune juice. Zoot suit judges, fashion house magistrates worry about broken fingernails in a seaweed reefer spell. Aqualung corrupted by malware oceans lost to paper's legal trail. Evil males legislate the world while kind people's love holds it together. Opiate notion to September. Modal realism motive for sorcery poems dismembered. Burroughs cut-ups of morgue slabs turned into slap like Will Smith and Chris Rock. All cylinders complete. Labial lips lock around robot monster tickling Antarctic hip-hop. Werewolves of Oakland invade vampires of San Francisco at Salesforce Tower. War devours peace. Bathe in gale force showers of hurricane with loofah pad and umbrella. Smash the honeypot to combat jungle rock from invading solar nun shelters. Invading solar nun shelters. Deep in the delta waves, I arrange and engineer Afro cyberpunk dwellers.
Outside, December had already decided what it would take from us, our breath, our warmth, the illusion that silence kept us safe. The room emptied, yet something stayed. Years of quiet, loosened, spoken but not gone, just no longer clenched. Still, a candle burned low in the window, doing its small, faithful work, flickering as if it knew how carefully truth must move through air. We left carrying no names, no stories we could retell, only the weight of listening, the nods, the language we taught ourselves before we had words. Cold followed us into the street, wind pressed against our chests like a question we could finally answer. Behind us, the wax would harden. Ahead of us, a year turned. And left behind, a silence that could, would, and should no longer be held. Next was called The Sound Leaving Makes. And I think this must have been my first one of the year. Laughter fading, doors shutting, the turn of a heel as they walk away. The door shuts in one direction only. You know instinctively when it's done, what's left. Space, silence, certainty, residue. This is what silence earns. A dim green dot on Instagram. Social media, an empty echo of what once was. No clarifying, no justifying, just done. And my next one is called How to Say No. I learned to say yes long before I learned it was optional. The affirmative written out in fear, out of silence, a child learns way too young. Yes becomes a way to stay, a way to keep the peace, a word you learn to hand over before anyone asks. No doesn't arrive in anger. It comes after the math is done. Once you learned what shouldn't have ever happened. Once the damage settles in. No grows in your bones, becomes a truth spoken after a long struggle. And it holds your life in a silence finally broken and held no longer.
I don't fake the smile anymore. I played it. 30 degrees, teeth wiped clean with my thumb, a curve that passes inspection unless someone taps the plate. They trained me where clocks weren't allowed. Oh, I can cook. Meaning I know the exact second before something turns and I pretend that it was always the plan. Pan on, oil already past polite. Grin and bear it is cafeteria food, bulk optimism, seasoned after it's already wrong. See, this is reduction. Pressure boiled down until it lies fluently. I drizzle it sparingly and call it professional. They nod. They always nod. Connection? Yes, but not the spilling kind. I choose my bonds like knives, balanced, familiar. I nicked the finger, not bad, but enough. Blood beads before metaphor finishes. I wipe it on my apron and keep going. I can cook, which means I know hunger is the thing you're supposed to outgrow. Here's mine then. Don't clean it up. I want to disappoint someone who believes in me. I want to watch their face adjust and not rush to fix it. I want to be left unimpressive and not explain why. There. Now that's the one you don't say on shift.
I'm a walking testimony without words. My story speaks and scars God stitches with mercy. In roads I survived that should have swallowed me whole. I'm an echo of grace that never gave up. The quiet proof that his hand was on me, even when I couldn't lift my own. My breath is a verse he rewrote. My heartbeat a hymn he revived. Every step I take, whisper he carries me. I don't need a microphone. My healing is the sermon. My survival is the scripture. My peace is the praise. For the God who holds galaxies also held me together. And now my life shines lighter than lips ever could. I'm a walking testimony without words because God spoke for me before I ever learned how to speak for myself. This is the Lord doing it is. Marvelous is in our eyes. Psalms 118:23. God is the voice behind every breath I take. Father God, I ask you right now to bless me and help me get through this, Lord. I need you. This is hard, and the pain in my chest can't take any more traumatic pain that I'm feeling and receiving. You know, everything I've been going through. I'm standing in storms trying to hold on, but I know God who sees me will always have my back while on a spiritual journey.
Mama taught me that prayer changes things, so I'm praying for enough steel to keep it real. Cause death is the only door out of here, but we be scared to leave our bodies. This body's been kicked around long enough, it wasn't supposed to last forever, and my soul cries out to be free. Besides, the only thing constant is change. So I'm sitting meditating on the one, when a b-boy with a boombox scared my spirit guides away, and I'm lost in a rat race, trying to buy shit my TV says I need to survive. And I'm searching for freedom, but I can't define it anymore, so I'm on a vision quest, trying to find a way up out of this mess. I'm walking through the park, talking to the trees. They got a protest going on against giving up their lives for Cashmas. And the local snowmakers union refuses to cross the picket line till Santa kicks in with a kickback. So at 75 degrees in New York in December, seems like the whole damn universe is under attack by the greedy as they plunder the world, exploiting the needy. So I'm rolling 7 onks deep in mysticism. I meditated till the light went out, but Con Ed wasn't hearing it. Not even an ohm could cut the darkness. So I'm burning 7 candles, trying to find the light of God inside. But she's busy down at the Salvation Army, healing a bell ringer who was shot by a 10-year-old white kid with a Tech 9 from Oregon. Seems like faith was raped of her charity and everything seems hopeless. So I'm hanging out in poetry circles, searching for the truth. But all I get is soft porn stroking my ego to erection with no satisfaction. Too many poets saying nothing well, but I'm looking for substance, something I can take home. There's not enough meat to fill a doggy bag, so I stick to vegetarianism like a religion trying to ward off starvation. I'm chanting for peace and justice, but Kenneth Banks was murdered by the new weapon of choice. A killer cop's 2-way radio to the head killed him dead. No backup needed, no caution heeded. Now I'm praying for Buddha. He's lying face down, spread eagle on the concrete, jacked up by 5-0 on the corner of 112th Street. And the interest on karmic debt is higher than bail. Seems like he'll do Cashmas in jail. The herb spot's been shut down to improve the quality of life for street corner pharmaceuticals who offer death at half the price, while the last legal drug dealer, a.k.a. local watering holes like the newsroom in the Bronx, offers 3-for-1 shots of rot gut watered down, except for poets like me who are banned for using the N-word because the owner is an N-word. But alcoholism kills the liver first, and it's easy to collect from the taxes of the dead, so I scream out other obscenities instead, like poverty plus ignorance plus imperialism equals fascism, but justice turns a deaf ear to my fears. So I'm looking for a detox, for Jesus addiction, but the offering plate gets in the way, because organized religion is big business, but nobody tells the poor as they pay and pray for more salvation from this hell we are living in. So Hail Mary full of gold, the Vatican's been bought and sold. Remember, we had homes in jars before they brought us here. My ancestors built pyramids for years before picking cotton. Maybe that's been forgotten. Now I'm quoting Hakeem Adabuti saying Jesus saves, Jesus saves, Jesus saves green stamps. But green stamps are obsolete while the poor and the homeless beg for food to eat. In this land of plenty where not a damn thing is free. So don't call me no poet, cause me, I'm just a pissed off brother with a pen.
It was almost game over when life tried to finish me. But I edited the ending, kept my bases loaded and found my angel in the outfield in the 9th inning. And now I'm standing on every version of me that I outlived. And I toast with a shaking hand because every obstacle that stood before me, I was able to withstand and I overcame. I didn't break. I built blessings from bondage, so when hope became the only thing I had left, I didn't squander it. I found clarity in the midst of chaos. I made home runs from my hurt. I transmuted my hills into hallelujah, so you'll find worship in my words, and even after the world gave me a series of difficult lessons to learn. I had to accept the fact that I outgrew the places that once felt like home. Going through hell was hardcore. And even though the struggle seemed necessary for my growth, it forced me to play in a game of life that I wasn't prepared for. And I almost struck out. Yet I was able to design a diamond amongst the dugout. All them curveballs cultivated this clutch hitter. Words became my wisdom. I went from minor to major leagues, and I excelled beyond batting average once I started batting for God's team. See, what God granted me poetry. It became my best asset turned assist. So when life hits, I don't hit the deck, I hit back with the pen. When I'm struggling, spoken word becomes my strength, creating my focal point when I start fumbling. And when life starts pitching hardball, I transform into my own umpire. And I'm finally able to notice when I'm about to spiral, so ain't no catching me by surprise. Right before my eyes, I see the signs. And I'm writing the sadness out of my system, because pouring out my problems makes me a better person, and I become more personable. So this newfound joy is personal. Because see, life was my biggest bully. It felt like a game of tag between survival of the fittest, battle of the strongest. Life made me its bitch, and I was his doormat for the longest while getting steamrolled over. Yet despite all of that, I'm knocking the shit out the park. Call me slamming Sammy Sosa, because now I'm striving to live my life like I'm supposed to. So the moment of being a pushover is over. And now I can walk free like Jackie Robinson, knowing that I got God looking over my shoulders.
When all is said and done, what will you be remembered for? Will it be for what you love or what you abhor? Let's do our best to have good times with one another. All we have is a compilation of memories from when we last saw each other. Every moment does not have to be perfect, but always make the experience worth it. When it's time for your story to be told, the mystery of your life will unfold. Be free like an uncaged bird. Let every picture tell a great tale that's worth more than 1,000 words. Let every highlight in your life shine bright with all of its might. We only have one life to live. Let's all have meaningful stories to give. One thing that's definite about life is our actions are finite, but our impact can be beyond measure. Living a life that fulfills my purpose is what I will always treasure. A life with great anecdotes is worthy to remember. Here is one way to help people heal. Have significant recollections so others won't forget how great you made them feel. In the end, memories are all we've got. Make the next one mean a lot.
Sunshine warms my face, melanins my ancestors. Through my presence, they carry me over the troubles of this life to the next. When the sorrow is too heavy to shoulder, how many shoulders? The sun glistens on them, cold-blooded, pulling out genetic pools of perspiration. That hard work is required to reach the destination. Always feels like the wrong language, impossible to go on. Feels like a million miles away, unions you never set in motion. Smells like a lack of determination, looks back and turns into a pillar of salt. I told him no, because I always do, to see where I came from. The sun did not melt my ambitions, it illuminated the failures. Crumpled satin dresses, 3 times hopeful, 3 times itchy, impossible, crunchy, crinoline burns brown to black, orange, blue, white, hot fire flames. Burning lies out of my heart, bad memories of your broken promises, smoke envelope, barbecue pit dreams lay burning, die. Never realistic. No smart goals here, never figured out how to set them. Each time I was gaslit into believing I had foolishly trusted another unworthy soul, dashing hopes, charming fucking liar. Me should have been a prostitute. It's all the same, tit for tat, this for that, and one hand doesn't let the other see, but stupidly hope there was someone for me. But always proven wrong. 3 love songs meant something at the time, now sound like gongs. Sound wrong. Let it go. Let it go, future hell. Someone please silence Adele.
A coworker welcomes me back from vacation and asks, "How was your trip to Mexico?" I respond by correcting them that I went to Puerto Rico. Their response, "What's the difference? They're the same to me." Biting my lip and being painfully aware that I'm at work, I respond by saying that, first and foremost, Mexico is a big-ass country, while Puerto Rico is an island territory that has a strong cultural and national identity. What I really wanted to say was, all Spanish-speaking countries are to sing to you if you voted for Trump. Spent the last majority of your boomer life being blinded by the scorching light of white America, all while keeping shade and comfort under the branches and leaves of the bigotry, or if you are a member of ICE. But what's the difference? I hope that didn't sit well with you, because your ignorance doesn't sit well with me. I'm not going to go as far as say that y'all are the same, because that'd be me putting me in the same company with you and all this bigotry, and I'd rather not share anything else with you other than a workplace and this lesson I'm about to give for free on empathy. You see, culture is key. The cuisine, the traditions, lingo, and history sets Mexico and Puerto Rico apart extremely vividly. Breaking news. Not all Spanish-speaking countries are the same. Not at all. Being born a brown man in a white world, being born into a lifetime of being mislabeled, where social interactions become a game of minesweeper trying to guess my heritage for laughs, has been my reality, a social birthright in this country. Has anybody ever stopped and looked at you funny, stayed silent, and or asked where you're from in your own hometown? Has anybody ever get you called into the principal's office because someone falsely reported you for having an explosive in your backpack? Has anybody ever falsely accused you of misconduct and get you written up at your job or banned from establishments without ever getting your side of the story? Has anybody ever treated you less than because of some weird-ass entitlement trip based on the color of their skin over yours? You don't know white privilege in the ways I have. By being the victim of the system, by not having the complexion for their protection and the collection, by feeling that you are guilty until proven innocent immediately. Society has painted people like me the enemy, when in reality ignorance is public enemy number one. Therefore, arm yourself with knowledge. We do have a right to bear arms after all, right? With that said, be careful and choose your words carefully before you invalidate someone else's heritage. That concludes my lesson in cultural and racial empathy. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk.
I never said it out loud, so I'm spitting it now. I was scared my name would fade, that I'd be another tab left open, another almost in a year full of almost. Smiled in public, fought with panic in private, kept my chin up while my chest kept quiet. But to the me that made it through 2025, sis, listen. Three things tried to break you. Pressure tried to bend my spine, but failed to take my posture. Poverty tried to starve my spirit, but failed to take my appetite. But then people tried to rewrite my worth and failed to take my damn voice. So I'm keeping the cadence. I kept the core. I'm kept the code. No corruption in the load. Middle of the mess. Nights smeared together like fingerprints on glass. Sleep slipped and days dripping, dreams on layaway. Hunger had aliases. Love, money, and touch. And all of them came knocking late. Ate rejection for breakfast, chewed doubt for dinner, midnight menus of what if, and should have been. Flirted with the exit sign without walking out. Boxed with doubt, bobbed and weaved, almost benched myself from my own life. But the bell never rang me out. Bars built from bruises, battered but breathing, scraping by, still spitting. Fear tried to tax me, false evidence acting real. Debt tried to own me, don't ever believe them. But PTSD remixed me as I persistence tried to stop demons. I changed the meaning, but kept the mission. Turned scars to stars, steps from stress to steps, made a map out of my own mess. Watch peers pass me, timelines taunt me, success flex, then unfiltered. Fake shine presented. Comparison tried to cancel my subscription to hope, but I paid in patience, interest compounded in growth. Street knowledge, soul college, study survival, majored in I don't fold. Quiet win, no claps to form. Choosing to stay one ordinary night. No headline, no halo, just badass decisions. But the flown go at 2:17 a.m. with a blue light baptism. Screen lit scriptures, a street lamp humming my name. Proof I stayed when leaving felt loud. Sunrise, I almost missed it. It slid in soft, asking me, "You good?" And somehow I was. I'm learning that healing don't always holler. Sometimes it's making the bed, drinking water, letting tomorrow borrow a little belief. Micro wins, minor chords, left turning itself back to key. So I plant three things for 2026. See, boundaries, access denied to anything that eats at me. A promise I'll bet on myself even when the odds are low. I'm loading, rhyming with reason, praying for a new season. I'm still here, still heavy with hope because something in me refused to go dark. And I keep finding a way to write these bars. Welcome to the main event. Tonight's pay-per-view is me versus me versus me versus me. Live inside the square circle of my psyche, where the ropes are tangled from doubt, and this mat smells like old therapy sessions and sweet stained confessions. The crowd chanting my name. But which one? Is it the real me, the soft-spoken saint with scars under my flannel smile, or the mask that I wear to muffle the screams who finds comfort in chaos, or the one who hugs pain when I hug myself, or the barbed wire thoughts and hardcore habits, the kamikaze of impulse, diving off the top rope into bad decisions, then back again, smooth talking denial, kissing the mirror with a grin, too cool to care, shimmying through heartbreak, no time to heal. But them demons stay on my heels. That bell rings and my mind's the ring announcer. Trauma, the referee, the best 2 out of 3. Got me in the mandible claw, my sanity gripped by intrusive fingers. I I tap out, but silence is my submission hold. Grab the chair made of inner child memory, swinging it like love me or leave me. Smashing self-care straight through the announcer table. Bang, bang! Throwing peace signs and past regrets. Tried to, you can't see me, my way past accountability. Got caught with that sweet chin music of reality. Roundhouse kick of truth to the temple. I can't dodge growth, but I'm bouncing off the ropes made of coping mechanisms. Taking attitude adjustments and group therapy. Delivering pedigree to old habits. Got RKO'd by overthinking. The sharpshooter. That's insomnia. Locking me down till I confess every sin I've overanalyzed. Choke slam. That's panic lifting me high just to drop me back into myself. The clothesline is a cold line from someone I used to love, but I've climbed the turnbuckles of illusions. Third rope dreams, second thoughts, first degree self sabotage. And I jumped, landed in nothing but what if, and the crowd goes silent as I crawl to me, bleeding empathy, whispering, this ring, this ring, this ring takes your dignity. Now my personas staring at each other, breathing heavy, 4 reflections in one cracked mirror, holding a different piece of me hostage. And somewhere in between applause and collapse, my trembling hand raised, declared it a draw, because this fatal four way, a battle was fought. Scarred and bruised, scathed in my bones. No one walks away clean, but at least, we all stay in the rain. This one is titled If Heaven Had a Telephone. 773-429-1567. Doo-doo-doo. The number you have reached has been disconnected. 773-429-1567. Doo-doo-doo. The number you have reached has been disconnected. And I dial again, getting the same old message. I haven't accepted it. If heaven had a telephone, I would dial your name every day until the line brews purple, until the stars complain how often my grief kept calling collect. Doo-doo, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. You have a collect call from SpytFya. Mama, can you hear me through the clouds? Because I've been screaming in silence, and this silence keeps screaming back. I know I wasn't perfect and sometimes undeserving, but you always told me only God can judge me. This is my call to heaven, my ringtone set to regret, vibrate mode on my rib cage, because my heart can't take another full volume loss. Mama, it's me. I know time works different up there, but down here, every second is a sentence, and I'm doing life without parole. I know you in a better place, but what about me? What about this place in my chest where your smile used to be, where your advice became my permanent residence and your arms were my address? And now I'm homeless in my own body, still reaching for my phone when life gets heavy. My thumb hovering over your name as if fate hesitating. My contact says mommy, but the line is disconnected. And I don't know which one hurts the worst. Now I'm double parked in my spirit waiting for an answer that never comes. Was I strong enough before you left? Or did your leaving force me to be strong? But honestly, mama, I'm barely holding on. Because grief got hands and it's been boxing me into deep corners. Baby, 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 breathe. I'm much closer than your tears. When your chest shakes, that's me knocking. Baby, let me in. I never left you. I changed forms. Think of me as a metaphor with wings, a memory that learns to fly. I'm trying, mama, but I'm tired of being brave and I'm tired of being strong because your love don't come in those Jordans that I wore. They keep clapping for my composure and I just need closure. They don't see me rehearsing my collapse in private, but nighttime be the worst. Because grief grew balls, breaking into my thoughts, still in sleep. This grief now floating like a butterfly. If I could pick up the phone, I'd let it ring inside my heart, keeping a line open like a wound refusing to scar, because scars mean healing. And I'm not ready for a version of me that survives you. But I'm saying your name in synonyms now. My mother, my mom, my mom, my mama. Her name can't let me back inside this house. I don't miss you because missing sounds temporary, as if you stepped out, but time just misread the clock. See, I ache you. I'm yearning for you. Deep down, mama, I need you. I'm homesick for a woman who told me I could be anything if I put my mind to it. So I became a poet, but I just wish you were here to be my biggest supporter. If I could call you on the phone, I'd read every piece I've ever written. I'd leave you on speaker so the universe know who raised me. But I tell you, I'm still trying. I'm still stumbling, and I'm still missing the yesterdays of us. And that I'm still becoming proof that your love didn't die. I promise you, it multiplied. See, I'm spitting this pain with my whole chest. They say time heals, so I carry you in my cadence, in my courage, and in my forever moments. If heaven had a telephone, I wouldn't hang up. Not because I just, not because I can't let go, because I just need to hear your voice, your loving daughter, SpytFya the Poet. 773-429-1567. The number you have reached is no longer in service. Poem.
This has me in tears.
Wow.
This is so freaking relatable.
Oh
So
my
freaking
god.
relatable.
I buried my mom December 21st, 1998.
Oh my
I
God.
lost her on the 15th. I buried her on the 21st. My birthday was on the 29th.
Hmm.
So yeah, the
Oh,
month of
Jesus.
December is hard for me. Writing this piece was extremely hard. But to be able to remember the number from 26 years ago was even harder.